Our mug moment today has us wrestling with one of the big questions of our faith journeys. It's one of those questions that I've been asked many times as a pastor. Is there a sin that cannot be forgiven? Jesus speaks to that question today in Matthew 12:30 through 32. Jesus says, anyone who isn't with me opposes me, and anyone who isn't working with me is actually working against me. So I tell you, every sin and blasphemy can be forgiven, except the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which will never be forgiven. Anyone who speaks against the Son of Man can be forgiven, but anyone who speaks against the Holy Spirit will never be forgiven, either in this world or in the world to come. Wow, what can we share in this little moment? Well, back when I was in ninth grade, I took a class to learn the French language. I could both read and speak it a little bit when I was done. Then for the next 30 years, I've done nothing with it. I walked away from it, kind of rejected it, and now I can barely recognize it, let alone speak it. Well, that's kind of what Jesus is talking about here with the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. You see, the Spirit is the one who opens our hearts to better see the good things of God, helps us to see the joy and peace and hope that comes from drawing close to God through Jesus. If I reject the Holy Spirit of God, or if I say, I don't want you in my life, well, God will sadly say, okay. It says here that I can blaspheme the Son, and that can be forgiven. Well, how does that work in comparison? Well, if I hit my thumb with a hammer or something bad happens to me in life, and if I get mad at God, and if I use God's name in vain, say words like Jesus Christ or God damn it in a way that is profanity, well, that is forgivable. I can still ask God forgiveness and still draw close to God. God isn't happy about it, but God's grace pours out. But if I speak against the Spirit of God who is trying to draw me into relationship with the Father through the Son, if I keep saying, I don't want any part of you, well, it's like my loss of the French language. I can't recognize it anymore. I miss out on the blessing of it. If I reject God's Spirit, keep pushing him away, and if my time here on earth comes to a close, well, while I'm doing it, well, I miss out on being with God in heaven for eternity. It was my choice to reject him, but reject him I did. So what do we do with this? Well, first, love God with all your heart. And then if you know someone who is presently walking away from God, rejecting the presence of God in their life, well, pray for them today. And pray that someone, maybe you, will be able to help them to better know God's love so that hopefully they will give God a chance. Have a great day.